Hello, y'all. I hope you are having, and I'm sorry that the sun is on my face, but I hope y'all are having a great day. We are going to talk about our whys today, because I think sometimes we forget how powerful they are. And so I have notes. I can share these notes and give them to y'all. But this is, I'm excited to share what I got on my heart because, hold on, I'm trying to set up my Plod. If you guys don't know what Plod is, y'all need to get a Plod because it's awesome. So what we're going to talk about is our whys because y'all, everything you want that you don't have is in your why. And so I want to, well, y'all, you know me, if you don't have your cameras on, please turn them on. I like to see faces. And so thank you for those who came prepared to show me their faces. Thank you, Tiffany. I know you're working. Y'all, if you don't know Tiffany, Tiffany's my sister and she's freaking awesome. I'm so glad she's doing this and she is incredible. But it's also nervous, right? Your sibling gets to hear you talk, and I've never talked like this in front of family because I don't see family that much. And so it's also nerve-wracking. But all right, everything you want that you don't have is outside of your comfort zone. So you all ready to get uncomfortable? Because I'm ready. And so, all right, I want to do a little interaction here. I want to know if I asked you this question in percentages, what is the percentage that you are going to make $1 million this year? What would you say the percentage chances of that are? And I want you to be realistic, not dreaming, realistic. What do you think the chances of you all are going to be a millionaire by the end of this year? And we only got a half hour, so let's put it in the chat. If it's 0%, put 0%. If it's 1%, if it's 5%, 5%, Angel, I love that. Two, I love it. For Haldis, I love it, Haldis. All right, now I'm going to ask you another question. This is an extreme example, so I am not saying this is going to happen. Just let me say it. If I said, what are the chances of you legally making $1 million this year, or everyone that you loved died? What would you say the percentage is? Absolutely legally. I did have to say legally because y'all, if I if I needed to go get a million, I'd get it. But this is what I want to show you about the power of a why. Because what changed in those questions? The goal didn't change. The goal was the same. The goal was $1 million. But what changed was the time frame also didn't change. It was a year. The why you had to get to $1 million changed. That is the power of a why. So when you're doing this business, when you have those goals in front of you, your why has to be strong enough for when you don't feel like doing it. Your why has to be strong enough to say, I'm tired, I'm not going to do my messages today. No, my why is bigger than my excuses. My why is bigger than my fear. I'm worried of what that person's going to think of me. My why is bigger than that. You know, I have a saying, y'all, if you have a problem with me, or if you're going to make fun of me, or you have something to say to me, text me. And if you can't text me because you don't have my number, you're not worth it enough to have a problem with me. Does that make sense? Like, so many times we alter what we're going to do because of the fear of what someone else may think, but those people don't really have power over our life. But we're giving them that power. And so I want to challenge you to really work on your why. Because your why is powerful. The how is easy. How you're going to rank up is an easy thing to do. if your why is powerful enough for you to get it done. And so I want you to be working on your list of whys. You know, when we first started this, you know, you all know we were on Medicaid and food stamps 8 years ago, 9 years ago. And so our why was to get out of our financial situation. We had $100,000 in student loan debt. We wanted to move out to Tennessee. These were all of our huge whys. Every single thing that we set out to do, which seemed impossible, was accomplished. And so, what is your why? What is launching you into May? I believe May is going to be one of the best months for every single person on this call. But the time that you don't want to send a message, the time that you're too tired, the time that you think you're too busy, y'all, no one on this call is busier than me. I'm just going to say it. I am the CMO of 3 massive companies. And I'm running Plexus, and I'm running a farm, and I'm running a house. My sister watched our kids a few weeks ago, and she said to me, I can't believe, like, how do you do what you do? I'm just watching the kids and doing the farm, and I'm exhausted. How are you doing all these other jobs and doing those 2 things? Y'all, my why is so big. My why is greater than my exhaustion. So what is your why? I want some of y'all to start putting in what some of your whys are on this call right now, because I want those whys to fuel you. Let's finish these last few days of April and launch us into May. Because a lot of people want to wait for the perfect conditions to get started, or the perfect conditions for a rank up. But y'all, getting started is the perfect condition. I remember when we were going for Diamond, and we got on a call with a Plexus numbers person, and apparently my numbers are better than those people, because they said, you're not even going to hit Sapphire. So the month we double ranked, the month we went from Emerald to Diamond, corporate said, we don't even think you have the numbers to hit Sapphire. Y'all, a lot of you would have allowed that to deflate you. Joey on this call was like, no, you may re-rank Ruby. You're not hitting senior Ruby. Y'all, her why was greater than what the numbers were. Do y'all hear what I'm saying to you? Some of you are stuck in a how-to problem, but it really is a why-to problem. You can't fix a how-to when it's a why-to issue. Do y'all get that? I want to say that again. I want to make sure y'all listening to that. Because so many people come to us and they say, how do I do this? How do I do that? But when we first started, y'all, we didn't know what we were doing. It wasn't a how-to issue, because our why was bigger than any problem that came up. And so I really want you, and I also want to say this for anyone on the call or anyone listening on this recording, your why doesn't have to be to quit a job. I see a lot of the people on this call saying, I want to retire. I want my husband to retire. Your why doesn't have to be that. Yeah, we're Diamond. We're going to be Emerald next month on my leg, and I'm still working, because I love what I do. I want to make sure that your whys give you options. Now, that might be for you to quit your job, but if you love your job, I want you to have the option to love your job or do something else. Does that make sense? But a lot of people want to just sit and say, if I knew exactly what to say, if I knew what Phil would say in this situation, if I knew how Phil would say this, then I would be at the top. What I'm here to tell you then is your why is not big enough. Because when we didn't have the answers, when we were on calls with Alita at 11 o'clock at night laughing because something we just tried failed miserably, and we're laughing about it and we move on to the next thing, we didn't care the mistakes we made because our whys were bigger. So what is your why? And is it big enough? Is it bigger than the excuses you're making? Because here's what I had to learn very early on. When I put an excuse over my business, what I was really doing is putting that excuse over the future of my family. Because my why is for my family. My why is for my kids. So when that fear of sending a message to someone or that fear of reaching out to someone was bigger than me doing it, then that fear was bigger than my kids. And when you put it in that light, how many of you moms on here would walk through fire for your kids? Y'all, I'm not asking you to walk through fire. I'm asking you to be bold. I'm asking you to send a message. So there's so many people on this call that you would say, I would take a bullet for my kid. I would do all this. Would you send that message for your kid? Think of that. And I'm not trying to get all heavy on y'all, but this is all I know to be. May is going to be an incredible month. May is going to be groundbreaking for a lot of you people on this call. I want it to be groundbreaking for every person on this call. Don't be left behind because your why is not big enough. Like when you look on that, sorry, I'm going to get emotional. When you look at that kid right there on that screen trying to talk to his daddy because he loves me so much. If that don't fuel you to work your tail off, that's my why, y'all. That's why I'm able to do all these jobs, the farm, my kids, take my son yesterday to batting practice for 2 hours at the field. That's why. Because my why is bigger than any problem that comes up. So next time you think someone is too big to message or too scary to message, I want you to think, and sorry, I got to wipe these away. I normally don't get emotional. When you think that person's too scary to message, I want you to think, I'm willing to take a bullet for my family. So I'm willing to message this person. Can we commit? I want you to put a 1 if you can commit to doing that here. Because I believe that we're building something amazing. We're building something historic. Y'all, most people think that they can't make it in network marketing, and we're sitting on a call with all these people that are making it. We are defying the odds because our why is greater. Does anyone have any questions? Like I think this is heavy, this is deep, but I think it's needed. And I want to know if y'all have any questions. Because I have a final statement to say and I'm done. But this last statement is also pretty heavy. That is very true, Amanda. If you think about our why when we first started this was to get off Medicaid and food stamps, move to Tennessee, and get out of $100,000 in student loans, build, have a pool, have a playground. All of the things you see that we're living now was our why yesterday. So if we don't develop our why, if we don't constantly work on our why, then we're stuck. If your why is just to be able to quit your job, and then you quit your job and then you just stay there, is that really going to make you happy? Yeah, you're going to be happy for the moment because you ain't working no more, and that's fun. You get more time. But if you're not continually working on yourself and going after things, a lot of times we get complacent. All right, if you all have no question, I can't believe no one has a single question for me. But I have one last statement that I'll say, and we can end early, y'all. But the success you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. The success you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. That's why we like to ask a question. What are you avoiding and why? Because your why should be greater than that. Does that make sense? So as we're launching in the May, y'all, and May is gonna be incredible. I want you to be asking yourself, what am I avoiding and why? And if I'm willing to take a bullet for my family, I'm willing to send a message to this person. I know it's scary. What's the worst they're going to say is no. But remember, y'all, Caitlin, who's on this call, I think she's still on this call. She probably turned the video off because she knows I like the videos on. But Caitlin told us no twice to doing the business. She told us no twice. And she's one of our biggest people. No's don't scare me. Inaction scares me. I go for the no, but I look for the yes because there's always a yes within the no. We just got to find it. If you all need help working on your why, reach out to us. Because I don't want you to be left behind in May. It's going to be lit. And I said lit. Don't, I said it. But the success you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. Lit and legal. Absolutely. So, y'all, that's all I got. I know it's short. I know it normally goes long. But I that's what I got for you. And so I appreciate your time. And thank you. And I love y'all. I can't wait to see what you all are accomplished in May. Let's finish this month strong. Every person you add in April launches you into May. Because they should be doing a shout out. They should be getting you prepared to hit those goals. Let's run together and let's crush it together. Thanks, y'all.